again. Nick with CC Minis here, and today I'm building this. A scratch build counts as steam tank that I built out of a guitar toy that I may or may not have stolen from my almost 1-year-old son. It's all part of a collaboration between a few channels that I really look up to and I'm super excited to be working with. That's build making stuff, Knarb Makes, and Dark Matter Workshop. When Bill asked if I wanted to be in an all-dad scratch build collaboration, I was really stoked. The initially proposed idea was to do a scratch build using only a deodorant stick. I really like that idea. It fit the theme well because all dads are generally pretty smelly, and because it would give me a great excuse to show off this super hipster round deodorant I use. You see, I have to use this deodorant because if my sensitive pits get even the slightest whiff of aluminum, they turn all red. Kinda like here, where I applied a red wash to this unfortunate model's underarm. That idea was later scrapped in favor of a more unique idea of stealing and then scratch building something out of one of our children's toys. Oh well, I guess I'll have to save this for another day. Now I need to steal a toy from my almost 1-year-old son. It's not an easy task. It's not like we're stealing candy from a baby. But luckily, I got some backup. Knarb, come in, Knarb. Over.
Yeah, I'm here. I have eyes on the prize. Over.
Is he there? Over.
Yeah, he's right where we expect him. Over.
Bill, are you in position? Over.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm here.
Bill, you're done talking. You need to say over. Over.
We've been over this 100 times. Over.
Okay, fine. Over. Are you happy now?
Are you done talking now, Bill? Besides, I didn't hear you say over.
Yes, over.
Okay, now, Kurt, are you in the spot?
Oh yeah, baby. Let's do this. Over.
Perfect. He's looking your way now, Kurt. Go.
Well, no, he didn't say over, did he?
There it goes.
The kid took the bait. Bill, go. Over.
Alright, payload is secure. Over. Get me out of here.
Alright, thanks guys. Really appreciate the help with that. Anyway, this little guitar toy has kept me up way too many nights, so it's time it goes. I did learn how to play a couple songs on it, like this one. And also this one. It's got these nice little blinking lights, this really awesome little barrel thing, and I'm really excited to start tearing this apart. Let's see what's on the inside. What little bits and bobs can we work with? Alright, let's take a peek inside. Ooh, look at all these fun little things to play with. I mean, look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? There are gadgets and gizmos aplenty. Look, little who's-its and what's-its galore. How about thingamabobs? Well, there's 20. I mean, who needs more? Alright, just can't wait to see what we can do with this. There are a few materials not from the guitar, like this oval base, as well as a clickety-clackety pen that we'll get to later. Alright, it's time to start the build. So this was the first time I ever tried scratch building on something like this. And just like my experience with being a first-time dad now, I really have no idea what I'm doing. All I really know is that it's going to take a lot of super glue and baking soda to get through this. Like, a lot. I picked up a few things just by watching what my co-collaborators do in their scratch builds. The general recommendation is to give every piece of plastic a good sanding before you use it. The plastic for the children's toys is a little cheaper and not quite ready for super glue, so you gotta rough it up a little bit. This gives the plastic some nice tooth for the super glue and baking soda to grab onto, creating a stronger bond. I started out by putting some major shapes together to give us the body of the steam tank that I want to build. After a short while of using so much baking soda, my wife said that my desk was starting to look like it could be a part of Scarface, so it was time to clean up a little bit. Now, according to international law, if you do a collaboration with Bill, you have to use beads. So we're gonna give that a shot. I found some that fit in these little leg slots perfectly. I can cut a few pieces of armature wire, slide some beads on, and bam, we got some cool looking legs. I'm building this steam tank to take to Holy Havoc this year. It's this crazy 1,000 point team tournament where you and your friend face off against another set of 2 people. The craziest thing about this particular tournament is it's a narrative event and people go absolutely crazy with their armies every year. The amount of conversions and crazy unique things that you see, I've never seen anything like it. It's really cool. I have a feeling that these Kit Bash from Kid Toys steam tanks are gonna fit right in there. Alright, this thing needs a gun now. Time for that pen. That's looking a little too big. Yeah, it's too big the other way too. I'll get out my trusty hobby saw and cut it down to size. I thought this piece looked like a nice little girdle for my robot, so I rolled with it. Alright, this tank needs a pilot. I got just the idea. Hobbits. First, I'm gonna have to chop one in half though. Sorry. But of course, that hobbit decided to take some revenge. And I lost a piece of my glove that's forever stuck to its little arm. A perfect fit. Now, I was, of course, one of the slowest people on this collaboration, and this was about the time that the other photos started to come in. And holy cow, does this stuff look cool. I mean, look at this. Knarb took like a My Little Pony, threw some crazy Space Marine looking armor on it, and it's just, God, it's like a unicorn of nightmares. Bill made this creepy, crawly dinosaur thing. I mean, my son loves dinosaurs, but the colors he picked out work so well together. And Hurt with Dark Matter Workshop made this thing of nightmares, really. It's beautiful in the same way that a Saw movie is beautiful. It's creepy. It's cool. I can't wait to see how he made it. All of the links to their builds is going to be right down there in the description below. Please go check them out. Hey, and when you're down there, maybe hit the subscribe button and that little bell icon. Alright, now it's time to start Greebling. That was a new word to me, and it might be a new word to you too, so let me explain. Basically, in the model making world, Greebling is taking the base shapes of a model, then adding just a whole bunch of random stuff to it to make it look more complex and complicated. You see this a lot with Star Wars ships and other things like that. And basically you take all these little different bits and place them on the model to build up some more complexity. I found that the little electric components in the guitar made it really cool to scale tubes and control panels. Just like before, we're going to layer that super glue and baking soda down thick. The screws make perfect little antennas, and with the addition of some beads, we can make it look truly unique. Yeah, that's looking pretty nice so far. I added some things off camera, like these 2 little half-crescent moon thingies, and this nice strand of wires. And of course the heart. How cute. Next I grabbed some styrene rods to make this little side rod thingy, you know, like what steam tanks have. This particular bead I thought made this look like a chimney thing. I've had these gears laying around for a few weeks and I'm kind of excited to finally bring them into something. It's not exactly from the toy, but whatever. It's fine. It's cool. These gears make a perfect couple of thingies. I don't know what it's called, you know, the spinny things that let you in and out. Let me know in the comments below. Now this next part is truly riveting. Come on, you didn't think you'd get through a whole dad collaboration video without a dad joke, did you? I'll show myself out. Boop. 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 That's the sound that glue makes. These rivets are cut out of styrene rods, by the way. The next phase is the goop phase, which is not sponsored by Gwyneth Paltrow, but Gwyneth, if you would like to sponsor this segment in the next video, send me an email. Let's talk. I basically rubbed a whole bunch of goops and gobs all over the surface of the model. This particular goop is the Blizzard stuff that Games Workshop sells, but I also added on some of the desert flavored goop. All the different goops will make it look more rusty and trusty in the end. Alright. Now that it's been gooped, it's time to prime. Priming is something special with scratch builds. It takes this weird conglomeration of different materials, bits, shapes, goops and gobs, and turns it into one cohesive model. Crazy, right? Now it's time to paint. I'm going to mask off a couple bits that I know I don't want to be metallic before I lay down the first coat. I plan on using hairspray as a chipping medium for this. So the first coat is going to be a dark silvery color that I'm then going to apply some dark browns and oranges to. This will be the base coat. So I take this hairspray and then I convert it into hair juice by spraying it into this little plastic cup. I can then spray the hair juice onto the model, let it completely dry, and then add another layer on top. I want this teal jade color. I think it looks pretty neat. For the barrel, I chose to use a reds paint, which converted it from a regular barrel into an exploding barrel. Once this top layer dries, if you add some water back on top of it and start to massage the paint around, it's going to start chipping off, which is really cool. I've never tried chipping medium, but apparently it works in the same way. If you've used chipping medium, let me know if this looks better or worse in the comments below. I'm curious if it's worth getting that, or if stealing from my wife will do just as good of a job. You can use both a Q-tip or a paintbrush to work the water in and remove the top layer. After the chipping, I thought that the rust wasn't quite rusty enough, so I added in some rust color to my airbrush and sprayed rust color over the rust to make it more rusty. Rust. Alright, let's let these legs show. I'm gonna hit them with a darker version of that same jade turquoise color. This makes it look like some rubbery hose legs things, like Dr. Octopus. For the gears, I added on a bronzy color. That's what steampunky things do. For the Hobbit, we're going with a simple paint job. My plan is just to base coat it and then hit it with a flesh wash at the end. I started with the flesh tone for his belly and face, and then added a little bit more red to the nose and cheek areas. I also added some red to his pits. Maybe they don't have hipster deodorant there. Poor guy. I added the same red to that star and the little heart beat at the top of the antenna, creating a little color triangle which will help guide the eyes to the different parts of the model that I want to direct them to. Painting these little tubes reds help with that too. I hit all the rivets with silver because it was the most riveting color I could think of. No, I'm not gonna stop. Deal with it. Then I tried my hand at some freehand, just a couple little stripes and words, nothing too crazy. I just wanted to look like there might be some graffiti on here. I was inspired to do this by another miniature painter that you can find on Instagram and YouTube called Sir John the Hoe. I'll put his link down below. He makes some really cool stuff. I don't know how well the graffiti turned out, but it was something that was fun trying. Wow. Now that our paint job is basically done, it's time to destroy it with a nice thick wash of gouache. If you haven't seen it already, I got a whole video dedicated to this stuff. It's really cool. Basically, it's opaque watercolors that you can make a wash out of. And then, just like oil washes, you can reactivate it once it dries. Except, where oil needs mineral spirits, gouache just needs water. So there's a few less chemicals that you have to worry about having in the house. That and the name gouache wash is just so fun to say. Try it with me. Gouache wash. Gouache wash. Gouache wash. Gouache wash. I like to keep my gouache wash in these little cups that I can keep around. Once it dries, you can always just add water back in and reactivate it. I hit it with the hair dryer so it would dry just a little bit faster. Alright, yeah, totally covered in brown, soot, and crazy gross gouache wash. Let's take some water on a Q-tip and start to remove it. I like to remove it just where I think the light is going to be falling and where I don't want it to look so dirty and nasty. You can basically use this to bring some highlights back up, while still leaving some parts really grimy looking. And now we're on to the last few finishing touches. Like I said earlier, we're going to hit the whole hobbit with a nice flesh wash. And then I'm going to take that same wash and hit the rest of the brassy pieces because I don't like their tone. That's right, don't use that tongue with me, young man. Next step is to add into this base that I made. This base was really fun and easy to make. I really should have included it in this video, but I just didn't record it. If you want to see it, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to make a video on it. Next, I started to add in some highlights to where the paint chips were. Just some highlights above and below where I think the light would catch. I feel like this really helped sell the effect and took it to another level of realism. After the highlights were done, I took a little bit of black paint and did a line underneath the top parts of where the paints were chipped. This made it look like there was a little shadow from the paint's chipping. Next up was to use some ground up chalk pastel corpses. If you haven't seen my video on how to make those, you really should. It's really silly. Basically, it's just pulverized chalk pastels that we can use as pigments. This makes it look nice and dusty. Here it is in its final form. The scratch built counts as steam tank. If you haven't seen them already, please go check out the other people's work in this collaboration. Links are in the descriptions, and I mean, to be frank, those videos are way cooler than mine, so go check them out. Thanks for tuning in. Really hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, stay healthy and take care. Bye-bye.